Joining us today is international student Michaela Wiblin from Durban, South Africa. Hello, today we have Michaela Wiblin here with us from South Africa. We're excited to get to know you a little bit better and learn more about your country and where you're from. So first, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am from Durban, South Africa. It is on the East Coast. I've lived there my entire life. My family grew up there. I'm a psychology major here now. It's my second semester, and it's going pretty well.
Yeah. Awesome, it's great.
I can't really pinpoint exactly where they're different, because they are different, but we're still similar in culture. I feel like just lingo and the way people are to one another is very different. I feel like in South Africa it's more community based when it comes to interactions and stuff, people helping people. Here it's a little bit different, but I guess in America there's so many different states to really pinpoint what culture is in America.
Definitely.
I mean, there's so many different cultures that combined within American culture. It's very difficult to pinpoint any certain differences. But yeah, mostly just lingo and just the way people interact with each other would be the most different.
Most different.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It depends on who you ask. If you ask someone that was more racially inclined to our government is majority black, you'll find that most support comes from the black people in our country. And then if you ask someone who is white or Asian or Indian, they wouldn't really agree with some of the stuff that's going on with our politics. I feel like our politics is very racially divided. You'll get a lot of black people voting for our government because of their race. They won't even consider another political party based on their race. The ANC normally not fights, but goes against another political party called the DA. They're called the Democratic Alliance, and it is run by a white woman named Helen Ziller. They have a black man representing them right now, he's the face of it, but there still won't, a lot of people that are black won't go for that party because a white woman represents that party. So it's very racially inclined. There's not a lot of room for asking the good questions, would this other political party be better than the one that's running now? Because the one that's running now is pretty terrible, in my opinion anyway. I mean, we have a president who has a 9th grade education and has about 8 wives plus all their children. Majority of our tax money isn't going towards the poverty, the extreme poverty in my country, or the unemployment. I mean, it's going towards his mansion. And 10 cars and all the wife stuff. So I mean, and no one's gonna look at that because they won't even consider another political party. I feel like people still, especially majority of the black people in my country, I'm not saying all, I don't want to generalize, but majority of the black people in my country are uneducated. And they blame that on apartheid, even though apartheid ended in 1990, 1994 kind of. So they're still feeling the repercussions of apartheid, even though they shouldn't. But they feel it's they should be entitled to certain things because of what happened in the past. And I understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, like there's been like policies put in place for equal opportunity, but apparently that isn't enough for them. I mean, we have a thing called BEE set up in my country where, for example, a white person has to get 80% on their final exams to get into college, and a black person only has to get 60% to get into college. I mean, great, we've set up that situation so people with less education, like they have to maybe walk a few miles to get to school, whereas I drive to school. That kind of thing, that we've like equaled the playing field, I guess. But then you get black people who are brought up just as well as I have getting that opportunity. I mean, you really should monitor these things, but it's very hard to monitor these things. So I understand where they're coming from, but at the same time I feel like it's being abused. The entitlement is getting a bit unfair. I mean, the crime rate is actually due to the fact that many people that were affected, or their family was affected by apartheid, feel like they're entitled more to what they're getting, so they'll rob, they'll steal because they feel like they can, and they're entitled to get what they want. So yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's. Thank you so much. For sharing all of that. That's a lot that's going on. It seems like.
Well, yeah. I mean, we have students burning down the universities. Where I mean, I would have been going to those universities if I wasn't here. So I mean, a library was just burned down 2 weeks ago for no reason. I've been here since April, so the beginning of spring semester. So I said about six and a half months. Yeah, so it's been a while.
All right.
Still getting used to a few things, but yeah. I feel like the economy is a lot better, and the crime rate is definitely way below from where I'm from. I mean, you go to my house and it's like barbed wire fencing and a gate and a huge driveway before you even get to my front door. Now it's just like anyone can really knock on your door and you have company. So I mean, good and bad. I mean, people are very naive, but at the same time I feel like you can afford to be naive in this place. Like there's a lot of people that wouldn't really commit crime around here, you know. It's very clean, like very clean. There's not a lot of poverty or homelessness or unemployment going around here. I mean, it's very difficult for an international student. I'll give them that. I mean, I've been struggling to get a job since I got here, which kind of sucks, but I feel like that can be fixed. I mean, if you're in South Africa, it would take a lot longer for me to get a job if you were an international person as well. But what else? Just basically just less crime, cleaner. Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
Your politics is weird, but I don't really know much about your politics.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really know very much about American politics. We don't really get taught that. We're too concerned about what's happening in my country right now to even worry about what's the drama happening here. But basically, I've just been trying to follow along with what policies each party has, and to be honest, I think you guys are screwed either way.
I think a lot of people are thinking that, so yeah.
Yeah, so I don't really have that much of an opinion, but I feel like it's more like a show. Your politics is more of a show than really like something serious that's going on. I mean, this person's going to be running a country for 5 years? I mean,
4 years.
4 years.
At least.
Is it 4 years?
They can go for 2 terms, but it's 4-year terms. So
okay, that's new. We do it for 5 years. Our president is 5 years instead
that's
of
interesting.
4. So
it's a little bit of differences, but that's really neat learning more about that. I had no idea. I think just like in America, I don't think we learn very much about the foreign politics in other countries a lot of the time. So.
And I feel like your politics is run very differently from my country. Like we vote for a party, we don't vote for a president. Like once you have a party, a person comes forward as the president.
Oh, that's very interesting.
I feel like that's different. Like here, you're voting for. I mean, yes, you're voting for a party, but like
it's ultimately
for this person running as president. You know, I mean, like I don't know anyone in their right mind that would vote for Jacob Zuma, but they voted for the ANC because that was the party that led people out of apartheid. So that's why they did it. But like Jacob Zuma became president, and he's shocking. So that's very different. Yeah.
That is. That's really interesting.
Well, first of all, I come from a very big city. I don't live in like the bush, and I don't have a lion as a pet, and like I eat normal food and stuff like that. So when everyone like ever asks me like, hey, like have you touched a zebra? I'm like, yeah, I've touched a zebra, but like I don't live by them. They're about 4 hours like out from where I am, you know. Like I live in one of the biggest cities in South Africa, so I have cars and like American entertainment and like British entertainment. Like we have like a whole mixed crisscross of cultures coming into our country. I mean, we're called the Rainbow Nation for a reason, and that makes me proud to be a South African. We have so much diversity in our country. I mean, we're not just one of those countries that say we have diversity, we really do. You know, like we have about 11 official languages.
Oh wow.
We have a lot of people coming in and out that really like enjoy the country. I mean, my opinion, South Africa is a great place to visit, not a great place to live, but it has like beautiful weather. I mean, we're warm like all year round. We're by the Indian Ocean, so our water is fantastic. So yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time to, I mean, I learned so much, and I think our viewers will as well, so I'm very happy. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Appreciate your
much.
time. Awesome.
Again, I want to thank Michaela Whipland for joining us, and that'll be it for now. We're going to go and do some yoga and bond that way as well. So
Good. Awesome.
all right. Thanks so
Great.
much.